OpenAI, turns out it's gone public and its revenue's rock solid.
Yep. Not losing anything.
Not losing a dime. No. It's Ed. We're back to do a big mega roundup of developments in the AI economy. I try to sort of round some of those up for a while, save them for Ed, because it's good to look at them all at once. And before we get into it, I mean, I'm going to say before we get into it, and another thing, like 50 times this episode, because I have so much I want to talk about. Sam Altman's newest disclosure on the previous OpenAI investment round, which, keep me honest on my numbers here, Ed, I believe has valued it at $400 and $600 billion simultaneously, depending on who's buying and selling the shares. No,
it's actually better than that. It was $300 billion in April, and now they are doing a second employee share sale that has grown from 5 to 8 to 10.3 billion for at a valuation of 500 billion, which is around the market cap of Netflix. But the best part is I generally think that when you think a company's going to survive, you do like a $10.3 billion employee share sale. No, I don't think that anyone has ever sold this many shares before. And it's just like 2 weeks after Sam Altman was like, yeah, it's a bubble.
Yeah.
Check out this cool bag holding opportunity.
And what's great is they're selling shares. This is what really melts my brain. So they did an $8.3 billion round like a month ago, and Dragoneer involved themselves in it. But now SoftBank and Dragoneer are investing at 500 billion, despite already investing at 300 billion like a month ago. It's just pumping their assets. It's insane. And I will write about this and I will feel crazy every time I do, because everyone in the tech media is like, yes, looks great.
Yep.
Wow,
there are retail investors currently holding a bag so suspicious that it's not even worth podcasting about anymore. I'm texting British Transport Police.
Well, there's no retail money even in this. It's just venture capital eating itself.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Good. Yeah. That is good. It's good when those people lose money.
And now the negotiations between Microsoft and OpenAI so that they can actually convert to a for-profit going into next year, which means that SoftBank will cut their round in half, which is all good. This is all fine. Everyone's doing well.
Is there anything like built on top of this that we need to worry about? I hope there isn't.
Nah, it's fine.
Good.
No one was using the economy. So this is the funny thing on this latest sale. The prospectus says, investing in OpenAI Global LLC is a high-risk investment. Investors could lose their capital contribution and not see any return. That's standard practice. It would be wise to view any investment in OpenAI Global LLC in the spirit of a donation, with the understanding that it may be difficult to know what money will play in a post-AGI world. However, now we do need some American money, please.
Yeah.
Just trust us. Universal basic income. In fact, universal remarkably high income once we sort out everything.
You're not going to need this stuff where we're going.
Can Rocco's Basilisk get like a $5 off you?
So it says, so this is, as you mentioned, Sam saying AI is a bubble. He specifically said, are we in a phase where investors as a whole are overexcited about AI? My opinion is yes. I'm sure someone's going to write some sensational headline about that. I wish he wouldn't, but that's fine. But the models are already saturated the chat use case. They're not going to get much better. And in fact, they might get worse, which I think he said because he realized he did an oopsie because GPT-5 is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were like, it's going to be great. And then it's bad. And then what he did was he was like, but GPT-6 is going to be incredible.
Which I genuinely love. Clammy Sam Altman. I love him. Clamuel. And he goes out there, he's just like, well, GPT-5 sucks, so GPT-6 will be better. And anyone who reported that without just completely seriously should just quit. Just, you can't fucking do journalism anymore. This guy is gonna fucking wallet inspect you every year or so, and you will just accept it. But what was funny was I was reporting out GPT-5 because I got one of the infrastructure providers to tell me how it works. And it's fucking hilarious. What they've done is they were saying, oh yeah, it's a super smart router to choose the right model. They chose an LLM to choose which LLM to use. It fucking rocks. It's so cool. And it's less efficient. It's significantly less efficient. I'm not going to go into tech details, they're very boring, but they specifically made it so you can't cache a certain part of each prompt. So they just do a bunch of extra work for no real return. It doesn't appear to save them money. In fact, it might lose them extra money. And this is GPT-5, the thing they've been talking about for 2 years. It's meant to be the biggest thing ever. It's so cool. And people are still taking this shit seriously. Well,
what I'd like to remember as well, remember when we talked about DeepSeek and we said, what's going to happen in the end of DeepSeek is that the American AI sort of superscalers, what they're going to do is they're going to go all in on size and they're going to get way more inefficient. They're going to do way more token burn. They're going to to build way more server farms and it's not going to produce, and it's going to be diminishing marginal returns. So I think what we can do is put a big X in the spot next to, we were right about that.
Yes.
That's what happened.
100%.
Yeah. I hate that the name of the podcast means that anytime we were right about something, it's not good.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, mark that on your big Trash Future wall charts at home. The Trash Future World Cup of everything is fucked.
But I want to do a quick temperature check as well, right?
Right.
This temperature check is of a CEO I follow, Vlad. I follow what he says and thinks. This is the CEO of Robinhood. I think he's a good barometer for what the very wealthy think of the sucker economy.
This is the sheriff of Nottingham.
Tenev said, I do worry generally about the short-term impacts of AI on the labor market. I think there's going to be a lot of labor force disruption. I think that's actually a huge tailwind for the importance of retail investing. So I think it's going to be much more important to invest, because if you can't rely on labor to generate money to make a living, capital becomes much more important.
Reading my copy of Capital Volume 1 upside down with a bunch of the pages falling out, and I'm just like, is this good? Does this hold up?
It's so cool being like, normal people should just consider living off their investment.
Yeah. Well, what he means is gambling. What he means is, if no one is working,
we're going to Vegas. You know, instead of all of this economy shit, right? We're cashing in the podcast and we are going to Vegas. We're going to put it all on red. You know, that's what Marxism is about.
That's why it's called the All In Podcast.
So what Tenev said is, the government needs to get everyone a Robinhood account so kids can start investing. It's from at a young age.
Sure. Awesome.
Because no one's cool. Because the concept of working for a living is going to be gone, but because we're still capitalists, we still need a world of scarcity. Instead, what he sees is a world where AI has all the jobs, everyone is entrepreneurs, and you're sort of just trying to gamble on capital allocating. Which I guess this is what Hayek wanted, basically.
I feel like it's not even a dystopia that makes sense, though. Like, it's like in the real dystopian future with AI. This is making a lot of assumptions about AI being able to do any of this shit, right? But let's take them at their word and assume the fantasy world where AI is doing everyone's job. I feel like what will actually happen is there's a sort of class of people who own all of the AI who are incredibly rich, and everyone else is living in the waste.
Yeah. Well, this is the vision they see for themselves. That's why Mark Zuckerberg keeps building castles. Because he's yeah.
But the other thing about this is, other than the insane proposition of we need everyone to start investing in the stock market so that they can protect themselves from losing their jobs, just one of them, I don't know how I missed this. I'm going to be thinking about this all day because this is an insane thing, but the brain madness on these fucking people, these models can't do any jobs. They're replacing translators, transcribers, those are jobs, but the way these people are talking about it is every knowledge work, every worker in a shop is going away, and it's happening now. I think I keep stuttering because I'm just trying to find a nice way of saying, are we ruled by fuckwits? Are they all fucking stupid? Yeah. And the answer is yes. I wrote this thing called The Era of the Business Idiot a few months ago, because it's what if they're all just fucking morons? Because in that future where they own all the AIs, they probably would still fuck it up too. You'd still have all these people having all this money. You'd have just more Elon Musks. You'd have more people the woke people in the wasteland are eating each other when they should be making more babies for me.
My Tesla robot plumber has electrocuted himself and drowned in my toilet.
Optimus plumber.
Yeah,
well,
it's
right. Really what they're talking about is the vision of the Vlad Tenev has, which I think is the vision of your standard business idiot on the grift side of the economy, is the only things that are going to be left is gambling and hype. That's it. Everything else, you're trying to hype stuff that you've gambled on, and that's it. That's what humanity is to be reduced to.
Yeah. So really what you want to be doing is gambling with a hype man. And then you're then you've got the economy by the ears. You're playing blackjack and you're hit me and a guy's behind you yes.
So let's go. I want to talk about some numbers. I'm going to say let's get into it 30 times. But let's get into how OpenAI and Anthropic have sort of invented new kinds of math to make themselves look profitable.
Yes.
This is Anthropic, I believe, is not counting. What is it? Because Anthropic released a revenue statement announcement recently where they decided just not to count one major portion of their costs and be like, we're profitable now.
Yeah,
right.
They leak their gross profit margins, and Anthropic's gross profit margins, I forget exactly what they are, but they don't include training costs for their models, which are most of their costs, and they're still not profitable. They're still going to lose $3 billion. That's the other thing. They're like, oh yeah, we're going to lose $3 billion this year, which is less than the $5 billion we lost last year. And it's like, no, you're not. You're going to lose more. There's no, you had, they also, and here's a really, okay, so as you can tell, this stuff's slightly driving me insane because Anthropic claims that they went from making $72 million a month in January to $400 million a month in July. And I just don't believe them. I don't believe them at all. And they also released this thing called Claude Code, which is just, you don't need to, it's a coding LLM thing. But through it, you're able to work out how much token burn you're doing by using it. You pay $200 a month at max. There are people who have leaderboards of how much money they're spending on this platform, how much they're costing Anthropic. There's someone who spent $10,000 in a month. It's
for
just
200.